Welcome. In this video, we will discuss about a very important topic of your polity, that is your delimitation commission. Generally, it is also called as boundary commission, and it is one of the very powerful organization or commission within the constitutional framework of India. In fact, it is one of the commission which cannot be even questioned by the courts, and its decision are final and cannot be modified by the parliament. So if you just look at the kind of power it has, it is very important. Now, just so you know, this particular delimitation commission is the one which decides on constituency. So if you have been familiar with the election process in India you get the constituency in which a candidate will file its candidature to go for election, and finally he would be selected from that constituency as a representative in the parliament. So this is how the democratic electoral setup of India works. So in this video, we will focus on what is delimitation commission, what in general is delimitation, what are its function, what is its composition, and also how it has been formed. So let's start with this lecture. The first thing that we have to know is the basic details. So delimitation commission or boundary commission of India is a commission established by Government of India under the provision of Delimitation Commission Act, which specifically means that it was going to be a statutory body. So it will be a statutory body because it has been set up by a act of parliament. Now if you look at it, what is the provision is that every time a census is done, there has to be a new delimitation commission, and accordingly so far there has been 4 delimitation commissions. So it has been set up in 1952, 1963, 1973 and 2002. All these are performed after the corresponding act in the parliament has been passed for it. So these are the basic thing that you have to know about delimitation commission. So it is a statutory body. It is set up after every time a census is done, and so far 4 delimitation commission has been set up. So this is the basic ground. Now let's go ahead and try to understand some of the very important topics or some of the very important points related to the delimitation commission. So first of all, who is the one who appoints it? So it is appointed by President of India, and it works in collaboration with Election Commission of India. Why? Because obviously the constituency are the one in which the candidate will file for candidature and finally will fight for election. So it has to work in tandem with the Election Commission of India. So that is the first point that you have to remember. Then what is the main task? So basically the main task of delimitation commission is redrawing the boundaries, and it redraw the boundary not only for Lok Sabha but as well as for legislative assemblies as well. So state legislative assemblies as well as Lok Sabha, the constituency on which the election is going to be held, or the seats in the parliament as you can see, or seats in the legislative assembly, that is decided by the redrawing of boundary, and that is the major task of delimitation commission. Now one very important thing that you have to remember is that the representation from each state is not changed during this exercise. So it is being conducted in such a way that it should not happen that the representation, the ratio or the percentage in which a state was represented in the state assembly, in the parliament, change because of this redrawing. So that is one of the very important component, that the representation will not change, but there is a provision for number of SC/ST seats. So under the special provisions in our constitution, there are certain seats reserved for SC and ST, and that particular seats could be changed in accordance with the census. So if there is a decrease or increase in the population of SC and ST in that particular area, then those seats could be increased in accordance with the population, but the representation of the state will not change. So you just have to remember 2 points. First, that the representation won't change, but there is a provision for increase in the increase or decrease in the SC/ST seats. Now, as mentioned earlier, it is a very powerful commission and it cannot be challenged in any court of law. So how it has defined the boundaries, that particular thing cannot be challenged in any court of law, not even in Supreme Court. And similarly, the orders, the redesign or the redrawing of boundaries will be presented before the Lok Sabha as well as the respective state legislative assembly, but neither the parliament nor the state legislature assemblies will have any power to modify it. So modification are also not permitted by the parliament or state legislative assemblies. So again, if you just see how overbearing power it has, it cannot be questioned, its decision cannot be questioned in law, and it cannot be modified by the parliament. So I hope you have understood so far. Now let's start and see who are the people who are present in this commission. So this consists of retired Supreme Court judge, Chief Election Commissioner, and respective state election commissioner. So obviously, as mentioned earlier, it is going to work in collaboration with Election Commission of India, and hence it is important that the election commissioner are represented within the commission. So it will have Chief Election Commissioner, and it will also have the state election commissioner of respective state. For an example, if the redrawing exercise is happening in Uttar Pradesh, in that case the retired Supreme Court judge will be there, Chief Election Commissioner of India will be there, and the state election commissioner of UP will also be a part of the commission. Or how the you can say the opinion it's decided, just in case there is a kind of a discrepancy or difference of opinion, so it is decided by the majority. So if like two people voted in favor of one thing, they will go ahead with the plan. So that's the how the consensus work within the commission in regarding to the decision making. So it works on the principle of majority. So if there is a majority, they will go ahead with the decision. Similar kind of things work in case of, if you have gone through judges, you would have seen that 4 to 5 judges. So if there is a bench of 9 judges, and if there is a rule by 4 to 5, then it means majority rule. Like the 5 people, because it becomes a majority, then they ruled with that decision. Similar kind of thing, similar kind of mechanism exists for the decision making within the commission also. So these are the things that you have to remember in terms of composition. Now let's try to understand what basically is delimitation. Now just see what literally it means: act or process of fixing limits or boundaries of territorial constituency in a country or province having a legislative body. So basically what delimitation means is you are creating or fixing boundaries. Fixing boundaries for what? For constituency. And where it is important or where it is required in terms of legislative bodies. Why delimitation is necessary? So why these are the basic reason because of which it was felt that India should have a delimitation commission, and why it need to be revised like after every census. So first of all, the first and foremost thing is provide equal representation to equal segment of population. India is a representative democracy. To make it more inclusive and representative, the Limitation Commission makes sure that equal representation to equal segment is done. It also enables fair division of geographical areas so that political party does not have an advantage over others in an election. Just for an example, think for it, like certain political parties are more prominent in certain region, and if that particular region has more number of seats, then it is an unfair advantage. So the people where the party is not very prominent also get representative because of the Delimitation Commission. Now we have a principle of one vote, one value. So unlike the other things where like for an example, in your financial institution, the vote value differs by the amount of fund you provide to that particular institution. But in India, how the voting mechanism work, vote of every individual equates to similar value. So it's not like the vote of a money would be more than the vote of you. So it's like we have one vote, one value. So because of it, Delimitation Commission is also one of the commission which enforces the principle of one vote, one value. So these are the basic reason because of which it is required to have this commission. Now let's also try to understand from where it get its power. So what has been said in the constitution? So we have article 82 in our constitution, which kind of asks the parliament to enact delimitation act after every census. So parliament enacting the act is actually a constitutional provision, and under what article? It is under article 82. So under article 82, parliament is compelled to form a commission in which pass a act which will form a commission. Now under article 170, state also get divided into territorial constitution as per delimitation act after every census. So basically the counterpart, or you can say the complementary act for state legislative assembly, is article 170. So article 170 is corresponding to state assemblies, article 82 is for your parliament. Now according to article 81 of the constitution, as it stood before the constitution, 42nd Amendment Act. So 42nd Amendment Act of Constitution, a very major act which happened in 1976 and also called as the mini constitution. So if you see during the it's 1976. So during the time of emergency itself, this particular amendment getting done, and a lot of changes were made. So in your Lakshmikant, in your appendix, you can see all the changes which has been made by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act. So one of the changes which has been brought by this constitutional act is also to Lok Sabha was to comprise of not more than 550 members. So it also limited the number of seats in the Lok Sabha to 550 members. Now the same article, clause 2 of article 81, provided that the number of seats in the House of People that shall be allocated to each state are in such manner that the ratio between the number of seats and the population of the state is, so far as practicable, remain the same for all states. So basically how it goes is that the proportion or the ratio of population and the representation in the parliament should remain the same. So there are two principles which has to be followed. First, that within the state itself the population should be represented, and within the parliament the states, all the state also should be equally represented. So there are two level of equity is maintained, or two level of equitable distribution is done within the states and among the states. And finally in clause 3, the expression population for the purpose of article 81 to mean the population as ascertained by the last preceding census. So because of it, it becomes important that every time a census is done, a delimitation act is passed, and finally a delimitation commission is set up. So this is the whole constitutional provision you should know: article 82, article 170 and article 81. Article 81 is the one which got amended by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976, by which the upper limit for Lok Sabha seats has been put to 550. Now finally let's see that if that is the case, that every census should have a delimitation commission, then what happened to 2011 census, for an example? So we should know that there is also something called as suspension of delimitation. The union government has suspended the delimitation in 1976 until after 2001 census, so that the state's family planning program would not affect their political representation in the Lok Sabha. So just imagine the population was exploding in 1976, and if the population became the criteria, so the UP would have the maximum number of people, UP, Bihar, and the states which have the higher fertility rate would be more represented in the Lok Sabha, and it could actually become kind of disincentive for the people to go for family planning, or to push the state government to plan to have procedures for family planning within their state. So to discourage the practice, the delimitation was suspended till 2001. States which took a lead in population control faced the prospect of their number of seats getting reduced, and states which had higher population figures stood to gain by increase in the number of seats in Lok Sabha. To allay this apprehension, through 42nd Amendment, the government frozen the total parliamentary and assembly seat in each state till 2001 census. So that was the amendment, that there will be a freeze on the number of seats or in the formation of delimitation commission till 2001 census. Now this was mainly done to wide discrepancies in family planning among these states, and thus giving time to states with higher fertility rate to implement family planning to bring fertility rates down. It was kind of a thing that, okay, it is not to incentivize that you are having more population so you will be more representative. You have to, the state government have to work forward to control the population. Now the constitution has again amended by the 84th amendment to Indian constitution in 2002 to continue the freeze on total number of seats in each state till 2026. So because of it, there is still the delimitation commission, it has not gone forward. So after 2026 only there will be an increase in the number of seats. And as far as mentioned, if they don't increase the further like the ban or the suspension of delimitation, the whole parliament architecture also need to be increased, because at time the present parliament will not be able to support the number of increase in the seats. So these are the few things that you have to remember in terms of delimitation commission. It is a very important topic from your polity perspective and from your overall election procedure in India as well. So I hope you have understood this video. If you have any doubt, feel free to comment. Thank you.